We started off with a terrific fight for NAFTA, which I paid a rather high price for. And then we had the first Leaders Summit in Miami in December of 1994 since Lyndon Johnson was president, where we brought all the Latin American leaders together. We committed to two things: to try to achieve an agreement on a free trade area of the Americas from the top of Canada to the bottom of South America, and to meet every 4 years. And I'm proud to say that now it's a routine thing. The leaders of our hemisphere gather every 4 years and map common plans and talk about their differences. I think it's important. Beyond Haiti, we tried to help Peru and Ecuador solve their disputes. We stuck up for democracy in Guatemala and Paraguay. We established a real working relationship with the neighbors of the United States and the Caribbean beyond anything that had existed before. I believe I traveled to 13 Latin American countries when I was president. And at the end, we did Plan Colombia, which I believe has been amazingly successful. We just had the 50th anniversary of the Inter-American Development Bank in Medellin. It is inconceivable that there could have been an international gathering attended by the United States Treasury Secretary in Medellin without the partnership we achieved to give the Colombians the power to take back as much of their country as they could. I was honored to have the chance to help Mexico and Brazil in their financial crises, and I think when I left office, we had that sort of partnership. President Obama and the Secretary of State have both already been to Latin America, and I believe America knows now our future is tied to our neighbors, and that's a good thing. My foundation tries to do that work too. We work on climate change and bridging the gap between rich and poor and economics, health, and education all over the hemisphere. Our global warming initiative works with Mexico City, Sao Paulo, Bogota, Buenos Aires, and Lima, and many other cities to try to help change the way they produce and consume energy, including some fascinating projects to close landfills, reduce methane gas emissions, and put people back to work. We have our Clinton Juster Sustainable Development Initiative funded by Carlos Slim and Frank Juster, a Canadian mining executive working in Colombia and Peru. Carlos Fernandez, who runs that project, is here with me today. And we're trying to develop sustainable strategies so that in these countries that depend on natural resources and mining, the people making money out of what they're doing will put enough money back in to diversify the economy so that when the mines play out, the areas will be better off than they were even when the mines were operating. That is our goal. It's a very ambitious goal, but I hope it can be done. For now, we're working with the government of Peru to carry out 50,000 more cataract surgeries over the next 4 years in poor areas. We're working in Colombia with Shakira's foundation to provide more education and economic opportunity for 8,000 students and their families. We're working also to scale up an organic spice business led by 150 Afro-Colombian women who were literally driven from their homes by the narco-traffickers to an area which was rich in spices, and they figured out what they wanted to do. All we're doing is help them do it and help them sell their products. This has been some very rewarding work, and we're about to launch a $20 million fund to invest in small and medium-sized businesses in Colombia. This is the main non-Haiti point I want to make. All over the world where I work, there is now a thick network of microcredit available. To be sure, we can always use more in poor areas. But the biggest capital shortage in the world today is investment capital for small and medium-sized businesses who need more than they can get from microcredit, either to start or to expand. It is a huge gap which is holding back the job-creating potential of many developing countries and poorer areas in more developed countries all around the world. So we're going to try to address that. Now, let me talk just a little bit about Haiti. I began with my foundation in Haiti working on AIDS, and tomorrow I'm going to sign an MOU with President Preval to do more on that. Our foundation's worldwide AIDS effort started in the Bahamas, which is one of the great success stories in the fight against AIDS. No mother-to-child transmissions in the last 2 years. None, zero, not one. Hospitalization and death rates down more than 80%. This can be done everywhere. But this is another thing I want you to think about that goes way beyond AIDS. It deals with malaria, tuberculosis, any kind of tropical disease, and maternal and child health. We now sell AIDS medicine, the least expensive in the world, in 70 countries to 2 million people. That's half of all the people in poor countries in the world who get it. And 2/3 of all the children who get pediatric medicine get it off our contracts. So in all these places we work, nobody's going to die of AIDS this year because the medicine is too expensive or not available. And now we're doing the same thing with malaria medicine in 11 countries in Africa, and we just launched a big effort to sell at steep discounts the only medication that treats tuberculosis in people that are also HIV positive. It doesn't make them so sick they can't function. Here's the point I want to make. It applies to any health problem in Latin America in a poor area. People will not die this year from AIDS because of the unavailability of the price of medicine, but they will still die because of the unavailability of healthcare systems, the lack of basic outreach, primary healthcare in rural areas all over the world is now the biggest impediment to saving lives from the big four killers: AIDS, malaria, tuberculosis, and infections related to dirty water, and also maternal and child health and other tropical diseases.